Raise your hand if you've ever heard that fear of public speaking ranks high amongst most people. Very good. Mark Twain said there are two types of speakers. There's the nervous, and then there's the liars. Even professional or experienced speakers will tell you they get nervous and get butterflies before they go on. And being nervous, though, is not the worst thing in the world. We all have fears. Some of our fears are meant to protect us. So for example, fear of heights, not a bad fear to have when you're walking next to the edge of the cliff. If it keeps you a few feet away, it's a good thing. The key is not to let our fears overwhelm us and keep us from doing things that we want to do. Same thing with public speaking. So why would people want to speak? Tom alluded to a few earlier. You may need to do something for school, talk in front of your congregation at church, or you may need to do it for work, or as Tom said, a wedding coming up, or any social environment that you can imagine. Some people may just want to do it so they can experience new challenges and grow and develop. The key is, most times you want to get up and speak because you have something that you want to share with your audience. And that's really the key to becoming a good speaker. The good news about public speaking, it's a skill. And what that means is we can learn how to develop it, and we can grow and get techniques that will help us. So let's talk first about being nervous, because that's a common thing that prevents a lot of people from getting up and talking. There's ways of overcoming that. The first may seem obvious, but we'll go over it. It's practice. So prepare yourself ahead of time. Get a good outline of what you want to say. Practice it, and practice it out loud. If you can, the best is to practice it in front of a friend or colleague, someone who can observe and give you some feedback. Those things will help you get over those initial issues. Some other things you may want to do are more in the technique side as you're preparing. Avoid caffeine before you have to go up there. Caffeine's going to make you jittery, it's going to make you extra nervous, and those are not the things you want to do. Another thing to avoid is alcohol. Obviously, it may calm you down a little bit, but you don't want to be too calm. And obviously too much alcohol will really slow your senses down and could have you slurring words and things like that. As you're preparing for your speech, be realistic. The likelihood that you get up there in front of a group and they're going to come and throw tomatoes at you and boo you off the stage is very slim. Most times they'll be very empathetic to you, and so just be realistic and don't exaggerate what the potential outcomes may be. Then there are steps that can help you boost your confidence. Some of the things to do is take advantage of the vulnerability that you have. People will empathize again with that. You don't want to be perfect. It's not robotic. You don't want it to be, I guess, seem like you can't make a mistake. Mistakes help people, I guess, feel with you as you're up there. Other things you can do is to be all in. So clear yourself of distractions. If you're up there distracted, people will notice, and that will take away some of the audience's attention. The other thing you can do are some exercises to relax ahead of time. Some people like to do breathing exercises, and in some cases you could take deep breaths in, and as you breathe in, you say, I am. And you hold it for a little while. And then as you exhale, you say relaxed. So you're breathing in, I am, and exhaling, relaxed. Believe it or not, that will help you. Be generous with your audience. Share the information you came up there to tell them. You're giving to them, and they will appreciate that, and the attention will come back. Engage your audience. That could be just one-on-one with eye contact and nodding. It could be participation through questions. How many people remember the first thing I did? Got you to raise your hand. So there's a technique I actually added for this based on the previous speech that I gave. I started going through and I'm saying, I'm giving this list of all these techniques and I didn't use this one. So I added that one in. Visualize success. Take your mind through it prior to going up there and visualize what can happen. Visualize the scenario, what you're going to do. Believe it or not, your mind cannot always tell the difference between a good visualization and reality. That's why athletes use that a lot. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. It's not about being fearless. It's about having less fear, especially the types that keep you from going up there and doing things. Find your reason for wanting to speak and go speak. Mr. Toastmaster.